So at its core, script breakdown is basically the director taking the screenplay and systematically deconstructing it.
Deconstructing, like taking it apart.
Exactly, breaking it down into smaller, really specific pieces. The main goal here is twofold. First, to develop a super clear artistic vision for the whole film.
Okay.
And second, to create a practical, like scene-by-scene plan that guides the actual directing work.
Ah, so it's like strategic planning, but for the creative side of things. What kinds of key questions is a director asking themselves?
For every single scene, the first thing is, what's the point of this scene? You know, why is it here in the story?
What to do?
Precisely. What effect should it have? Then they dive deep into the characters in that scene. What's driving them? What do they want right here, right now?
Motivation.
Motivation, yeah. And also, what's stopping them? What are their obstacles in this specific moment? What are they trying to achieve?
That makes total sense. You have to understand the why for each character in every scene to direct the actors properly.
That's totally crucial. And it goes beyond just character. What else are they looking at? And beyond the visuals, the director's thinking hard about performance. How am I going to work with the actors? How do I get that specific look, that feeling out of them for this moment?
Wow, yeah. Sounds like they need to be part psychologist, part manager, part artist, all at once.
Pretty much. And they have to communicate all this, right, to the whole team.
Good point.
So during the breakdown, they're already thinking, okay, what instructions do I need to give the cinematographer about this shot or the lighting or the sound recordist?
Yeah.
Everyone needs to be on the same page for every scene.
That is a huge amount of detail.
Before starting this breakdown, it's really advised they look back, revisit their original director's statement for the film.
Yeah, their initial vision.
Yeah, and also any big takeaways or lessons from their previous films. It helps keep everything aligned with their overall style and goals.
Right. Grounding the detailed work in the bigger picture.
You mentioned that I'm as mad as hell speech earlier. How does this breakdown process show up in a scene like that? It's so famous.
Oh, it's a fantastic example from Network. Let's look at it through this breakdown lens. Okay, character. Howard Beale. News anchor, totally frustrated, kind of losing it.
Yeah, you can feel that.
His obstacle, his main internal conflict here is his own mental state, right? He's losing touch with reality.
Definitely. So how did the directing choices capture that intensity? What did the breakdown likely inform?
Well, based on the sources, the camera work was very deliberate. It apparently starts wide, but then pushes in closer and closer, ending up in this really tight near choker shot on Beale's face.
To really focus on the emotion. Exactly. To capture that raw anger, that intensity. And the lighting described as high contrast, dramatic, but Beale himself is often lit with that flat, almost sterile newsroom lighting.
Oh, interesting contrast.
Yeah, it highlights the disconnect, right? His intense emotion versus the bland setting. It kind of subtly underlines his fractured state.
That makes a lot of sense, visually reinforcing his internal state. And Peter Finch's performance, unforgettable.
Absolutely. And reportedly, that performance was directed to be exaggerated, powerful. It had to convey Beale's rage, but also his despair.
And the dialogue, of course.
And the dialogue, that amazing speech urging people to get mad as hell. Can't forget that.
It really became a cultural thing, didn't it?
Yeah.
So pulling it all together, how did these breakdown elements, the character goal, the obstacle, the technical choices, make that scene work so well?
Well, it circles right back to those core breakdown questions. Motivation, clear. Beale wants to expose the corruption he sees.
Right.
Obstacle, his mental state. But he overcomes it, channels that anger into this incredibly powerful speech.
He achieves his objective in that moment.
Precisely.
Yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I want you to get up right now. Get up, go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Things have got to change.
How many stations does this go out?
You've got to get mad.
67.
Say,
I know it goes to Louisville and Atlanta.
I'm not going to take this anymore. Then we'll figure out what to do about the depression and the inflation and the oil crisis. But first, get up out of your chairs, open the window, stick your head out and yell, and say, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
And the fact that the speech hits such a nerve with audiences, that speaks to the director likely having a clear vision about the film's message, tapping into that public frustration.
Yeah.
And finally, Finch's performance, that's the direct result of directorial guidance based on understanding the character and the scene's needs. Capturing that madness and intensity, it all comes together.
It really is fascinating to see how all those individual choices, likely planned way back in the breakdown phase, create such a memorable, powerful moment.
It really shows that script breakdown isn't just, ticking boxes. It's this deep, analytical, but also really imaginative process. It's how a director translates words on a page into an actual cinematic experience.
So the big takeaway here seems to be that script breakdown is this absolutely vital, complex process. It's about dissection, understanding scene mechanics, goals, motivations, obstacles, and then planning the whole visual and emotional landscape of the film.